Hello everyone, welcome to Wellness 360 here on ZMTV. I am Theodosia Agbovi. On today's show, we're going to be discussing why it is important to have a regular medical screening, and we have with us a guest who will be taking us through that discussion, and I want you to stay glued to your TV whilst we do this right after this break. Welcome back from that break, and thank you for staying to watch this. Okay, I'll go ahead and introduce our guest for today. He is in the person of Dr. Stephen T. Odonko, Fulbright scholar and a biomedical scientist. Also, he is a senior lecturer at GAMPA. Doc, you're welcome to Wellness 360.
Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. Before we resume into our conversation for today, how was your holidays?
Oh, it has been okay, a bit stressful, but let me also say that kudos to you guys at ZMTV or ZMTV. You are doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thank you. ZMTV. Producer, we see you. Thank you. Okay, so we'll zoom into our conversation for today. Today we are on the topic why it is important to go for a regular medical screening. So, Doc, can you kindly tell us why medical screening is considered essential for maintaining good health?
Yes, so it is very critical for health in the sense that, over the course of time, a lot of changes occurs in our body. And it is important that we find out if these changes are going to have some kind of adverse effect on our health and well-being. So having a regular medical checkup will bring out anything within your human system that might not be as expected, so that it can be corrected on time before it degenerates and gets out of hands.
Okay, okay, that's informative. Okay, so what benefits does it offer over time? I mean, the regular medical screening. What?
All right, so there are several benefits, particularly I will say preservation of life.
Okay.
Okay, because if you do not know or you're unaware of what happens within your human system, you could get to a point where you could just pass out all of a sudden. I have been in medical screenings where people have come in with very high sugar levels. In one case, it was 9.5, which was way above. And this lady did not know she had such a condition. We've also found in people who had high blood pressure and they did not know. But once you do these screenings, this will come to the fore, and then your doctor will then be able to manage it for you,
Okay.
so that you will live a longer life.
So basically, you're trying to say that there are several tests that you can take every single time. That is for regular medical screening. Can you please tell us some of those tests that
All right, so
we are
there's,
supposed to?
all right, yeah, okay, all right. So there are several of them. In fact, today in our hospitals and health facilities, you might have heard of what we call the well man, well woman. All these are geared towards having a kind of comprehensive uh, medical lab screening. Okay, but what comes to my mind immediately would include what we call the fasting blood sugar, what we call the sugar,
Sure.
and then also the lipid profile test, which we normally call cholesterol test. These are very key tests that you may want to probably check regularly. But there are others as well, which your doctor would actually recommend that you do alongside this.
Okay. So hypertension and all of that is part of the regular
Hypertension,
medical
yes. When you go, normally the regular checkup will include the physical
physical.
testing
Okay.
and then the laboratory testing. So you would also have the physical testing, which would include the blood pressure test and so on. And then the laboratory test would include those that you would be asked to produce some specimen, let's say stool and urine. Then they will take some blood samples from you to run these tests. Yeah.
So how regular are we supposed to visit the hospital for this test? Because we know that you're trying to say that if we don't do it, we might end up dying. Actually, basically, that is what it sounded like. So, when do we do that, or in
Well,
what space are we supposed to?
yes, but let's also correct this. It doesn't
Okay.
mean if you don't do a medical screening or examination, you will die.
Okay.
And no, it is just a preventive kind of thing, just
Okay.
for you to know what is happening. So if there's anything going wrong, that can be corrected. I recommend that at least we do this once a year. And in my case, I do my annual medical screening on my birthdays. So I recommend that the best birthday gift you could give to yourself as an individual would be to have a comprehensive medical examination for yourself. So that would be a good time. So at least you don't forget, my birthday, I have to do medicals. Other than that, any other day that you set for yourself, you can do and have this checked. Then you could have some report from the doctor as to what is happening with you and what you should need to do.
Yeah. The conversation is getting interesting. We'll go for a short break, and right after that, we'll bring you more. Welcome back from that break, and we will continue with our conversation. Okay, so Dr. Odonko, we will continue with our conversation by asking you that when we talk about cost, accessibility, affordability in healthcare, it is a big issue. So how do we address this issue? Because people out there, they complain a lot. If you tell them, go for medical screening, I don't have money. If I go, they will take money from me. How do we address these issues when it comes to regular medical screening?
Well, I do acknowledge that healthcare financing is a major issue. And meanwhile, the medical screening is also important. But there have been some avenues of late. I know, for example, there are some medical facilities that provide some free screenings. For example, there is this medical facility called the Metropolitan Diagnosis Center near Koga Furniture, the trade fair thereabout. Normally, regularly, almost every 6 months, as part of their corporate social responsibility, they would open up and ask people to come and do this test for free, which they do, yes. I also know that there are some NGOs who also provide some kind of assistance, for communities, particularly those that are in deprived areas where they organize medical screenings for them. And then you have some members of parliament doing similar thing in their constituencies and so on. So really, there are avenues. And I also do know that those on private health insurance also, they also do that. And then some aspect is also covered by the National Health Insurance. So there are avenues of ways that one can look at when it comes to doing the annual medical screenings and so on and so forth. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So basically, there are free health screenings that go on in some hospitals. They give you the avenue to do that. So if you're out there and you find it difficult going out to go for medical screening because you don't have the money to afford that, try and put your ears on the ground. That is what I'm trying to say, so that you get those informations and go out there and have this medical screening. So, doctor, can you tell us the part communication plays in this process of medical screening?
Well, communication is very important in not only probably in biomedical sciences or in doing your laboratory test and so on, but that is very important. And I have had the cause severally to complain about people who come do medical laboratory tests and they don't even pick up their results to go see their clinicians. The communication will be complete only after you take your results to your doctor, who will look at it and advise you. So there are two things here. You have a group of people who are unwilling to do the annual screening for one way or the other, which will include cost. And you have this other group who will do it all right, but they will not take the results to the doctors. Okay. So you need to take it to the doctor so that the communication cycle regarding the medical screening will be complete. The doctor will then tell you, look at the results and advise you and so on and so forth as to what is happening, what you should do and so on. So it is very important that we do this. Okay. Yeah. So my recommendation at this point would be go through the process, see your doctor and let your doctor advise you.
Okay. Yeah. So when we talk about technology in medical screening, how has it influenced the landscape of regular medical screening?
Yes, today there's a lot of development in terms of technology and innovation in the biomedical setup. Okay. If you are privy to the lab some few years ago, if you see a hematology analyzer, it was very big. A chemistry analyzer, it was very big. Previously, we used to do chemistry using a machine called the photospectrometer. Now we have what we call automated and semi-automated, fully automated analyzers that do this with an ease. They could do probably about 20 or 50 tests just within maybe 15, 20 minutes. Previously, one single test could take about 1 hour to do. So there have been advancement. But what is even more important is that now you are able to pick up sharp and accurate measurement to a large extent, from these modern technologies that are coming in. And again, we are having other diagnostic tools which we refer to as non-invasive methods, where they can be used without you necessarily producing a sample or any other thing. They're able to pick some kind of measurement from you and so on. So technology has improved so much today, and we are leveraging on it. So we encourage everybody to be, and now also, if you talk about the labs, another issue that has come out has been regulation. IFRA have been going around. They have also been doing a good job and then regulating clinics and then diagnosis centers and so on. So at least once you get into a HIFRA accredited diagnosis center, you are sure that the standards have been kept and you would have the best of results in terms of technology, among others.
Okay, so that was an educative conversation here with Dr. Stephen T. Odonkor, senior lecturer at GIMPA and a biomedical scientist. Doctor, we are glad to have you and thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so thank you for watching. My name is Tedosi Agbovi. We'll see you same time here on Wellness 360.